Pittsburgh Penguins are making moves as they've sent down one player in particular. They've called up a mystery player that we're going to break down and what the future holds for this Pittsburgh Penguins team, as there could be a signing on the horizon for Kyle Dubas and company. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Penguins Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 68% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening with your Pittsburgh Penguins, it's free. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. But let's dive right into it. There's a lot to get into today, including a possible NCAA signing, and a lot of them are being signed right now. A lot of free agents out of the NCAA with their seasons wrapping up, and the Penguins should absolutely look into that. But the first order of business today that we're going to dive into, of course, is the Pittsburgh Penguins have called up a mystery player, and we're going to get into that in a second. But that is a subsequent move to this. Emil Bemstrom has been sent down to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins from the main roster. Now, we don't have too many details besides this. This just dropped 26 minutes ago from Elliot Friedman, as you can see here. But it's very interesting that, he was sent down. And this season in the NHL, Bemstrom has played 13 games. He had 1 assist, and it was his only point on the season. Bemstrom is 25 years old. He's about to turn 26, and he averaged about 8 minutes of ice time this season. So he has been sent down to the AHL. And like I just mentioned, another player has been called up. And this is from Tony. And he said that he had planned to talk to a Baby Pens forward when he was walking to the rink today. But plans changed, and he was pulled from practice and appears to be getting called up to the Pens in advance of the NHL club's 3-game road trip to essentially wrap up the season here with just a handful of games left. So didn't say who it was, said he was planning to talk to the player. We don't know who this is. There's been no report or official call up as of yet. We will get to that in a little bit, but obviously we'll have videos on the channel breaking that all down when it does officially happen. We do learn who the player is, but pretty interesting news today that the Penguins are making some roster moves. Speaking of roster moves, it looks like the Penguins could be making some more moves. So league-wide right now, there's a ton of teams signing free agents out of the NCAA. Obviously, a lot of seasons are ending. A lot of seasons for drafted players are ending as well, and they're signing ELCs. We're seeing that. A lot of players are signing ATOs to play in the American Hockey League this season, and then their ELCs kick in next year. We're seeing a ton of that. And the Penguins should join the party here. And I thought this was a very interesting article from Kelsey. And with the NCAA free agent frenzy upon us, the Penguins should really be sorting through some legitimate options for to sign this offseason, or heading into this offseason, I should say, for next year. And she lists 5 of the top NCAA free agents the Penguins should be looking at. And one player in particular, I'm not going to go through all 5 players. If you want to go check out the article, it's a fantastic article. And, shout out to Kelsey. Great work there. So go check out the article if you want to see some of the other players. But one player that stood out to me that she spoke about is TJ Hughes. I mean, there's so much hype around this guy. He's probably the most highly touted prospect, if you even want to call it, or free agent out of the NCAA right now. He's had a fantastic season last season that just wrapped up. So probably the most highly touted player out of there. And the reason that I think that he could pick the Penguins, and the Penguins should probably look to acquire him as well, is playing time. This is a player who can go to a contender. He can go to any team at this point, signing as a free agent. But is he going to get the opportunity that he might get playing on the Pittsburgh Penguins? This is a guy who could play with Sidney Crosby right away. And obviously, Rutger's been doing that. We saw he was just called up from the Baby Pens as well, and he got that opportunity. But this is a guy that I think is a right shot, possibly could play with Sidney Crosby. If not, maybe Evgeni Malkin on the second line there could be a very good place for him to come in, learn his craft just that much more, learn how to become a better pro under Sidney Crosby's leadership. So I see it being a pretty good fit there. And again, he is the cream of the crop as it comes to free agents in the NCAA. And in terms of his stats, last season for the University of Michigan, the Wolverines, he had 15 goals, 38 points in 36 games. And again, I will maintain, I say this all the time, that I do believe it's harder to score in the NCAA than other junior leagues like the OHL or the CHL in general. So to put up points like that in that league is pretty impressive, or in the NCAA, I should say. And Hughes has registered 47 goals and 122 points overall in 116 games in the NCAA. So pretty good. And again, he's a great two-way player by all accounts. Has a bit of that physicality as well that he can bring to the table. He's not the biggest guy. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds. So he does kind of fit the Kyle Dubas build a little bit and what Kyle Dubas looks for in players. So again, he's a great playmaker. I think he would fit in very nicely on this team. This is a guy that the Penguins should look to target very soon, because he is going to be signed soon. A lot of teams are picking up a lot of these players. Now, another bonus to signing a player like this player is he spent 2 seasons from 2022 to 2024 playing with the Penguins, Rucker McGroarty in Michigan. So obviously some familiarity there. So I think that it could be a very good option. So TJ Hughes, remember that name. I wonder if it's a good fit for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just wanted to bring that up because it could be an interesting option for the Penguins and somebody that they should look at. And, with the season kind of falling off here, this is a guy who can come in the last handful of games and probably play for the Penguins. If anything, he, follows suit with the rest of the players and most players coming out of the NCAA right now. He signs an ATO. He goes down to the AHL because, there's only 7 games remaining at this point in the season, and I think Pens fans, there's no expectations anymore, right? It would be nice to see him in the NHL, but don't burn a year of his ELC. Bring him in, something like that, and you can see him for a couple more years. But another thing to note is in terms of the salary cap and moving forward, what Kyle Dubas' plan is, I think it's very interesting. They have $34 million in cap space right now. And if you take a look here, the best part of this all is next season, their projected cap hit is over $20 million. Is around $24 million in cap space. So you're signing a bunch of young players. In free agency, you can go out and get a big fish if you want to try and improve the team and fast track the rebuild a little bit. So I think Kyle Dubas has this team in a pretty decent spot considering what he walked into, because yes, a lot of people blame Kyle Dubas for not moving off of Sidney Crosby. We know that's not going to happen, or Evgeni Malkin, or trading for Erik Karlsson. At the same time, they freed up a lot of salary cap space, that they can do a lot with. And if you take a look at the lineup, heading into next season, you would like to fill out maybe that right side a little bit, which is another reason why I mentioned TJ Hughes. So pretty interesting stuff heading into next season, but the future looks bright. This is another great article from Matt as well. And Ville Kuvanen looked great over the weekend in his NHL debut, and just some quotes from a couple of the guys, about, the rookie laps and stuff like that. There's a bunch of rookies now playing for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm sure we're going to see more next year. So just a couple fun quotes from some of the players in terms of, Crosby looking back and reminiscing on his time as a rookie in the league and coming up in the league. So pretty fun stuff for the Pittsburgh Penguins there. But let me know in the comments what you think about TJ Hughes, about the moves that the Penguins made today. And I'm sure we'll get some clarity on who they called up specifically. And I'll have a video on that probably tomorrow, breaking that down ahead of their next game and obviously the road trip coming up. So let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything Pittsburgh Penguins.